Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Cool Cats Art. And today I'm experimenting actually. I've never tried but one of these sometime in the past, a cloud funnel pour. So I'm trying for a cloud pour, but I'm going to pour it through a funnel. And this all comes from a course I took on G's pouring for cloud funnel pours. And I have used his recipes entirely for all these mixes and technique. And I will see how it turns out. This is just a 8x8 ceramic tile. My colors, I'm keeping it simple. I'm only using 3 colors. I'm using 2 blues, a turquoise, and a phthalo blue. And then I'm using a green, and bright aqua green by Liquitex. So it's a simple, cool palette. We're just going to keep it simple today. And I'm going to start with my base coat. And we'll put some of that on here and kind of spread it around to it may take a little bit more. Spread it around to the edges here. First thing that goes in the cup, or in the funnel I should say, is going to be, I'm going to block this off a little bit with some other paint bottles because I don't want it to spin on me until I'm ready for it to spin. And it will if you don't have it kind of blocked in here somewhat. Let's block this off a little bit more here. There we go. That ought to hold it in place. Okay, let's put the funnel down and get my paints moved over here where I can get to them easy. I apologize for the mess around this. I've been pouring a lot of things lately, and this is in my in-between stage where I haven't cleaned up real good in a few pours. So, okay, we got to put the funnel basically pretty much in the middle, as close as you can get it to the tile, and hold it down flat. You do not want it wobbling around so that much of anything leaks out before you're ready for it to. So you want to hold it flush against the tile, and I have a tendency to rock it, so that's not good. And the first thing that goes in is what G calls the lacing mix. And you put that in first. There's a specific recipe for that. And then you can start layering your colors. I'm going to go with the phthalo blue first. Then I'm going to put the bright aqua green on top of that. And I'm being relatively careful with placing these colors in here. I want them to stay somewhat separated if I can. And if I pour too hard or pour from up high, they're going to mix in with each other or have a tendency to. See, I'm leaking out a little bit around the edge already. So I need to go ahead and finish filling up this funnel so I can release all this. And the last step is to pour the cloud mix from up on high, because you want it to sink down into those other colors. And now you can start releasing it. And I do see some cells starting to pop up, some clouds starting to pop up rather rapidly. And with most cloud pour mixes, you can give this a slight torch And see that? Pops a lot of the bubbles on there and releases even more. And you got to give this a few minutes to continue to develop before you start trying to spread it out, because there's still quite a few clouds still popping up. It is pretty much working like he described it. This was a cool color palette, and I'm going to do a warm color palette next. Now you need to kind of calculate ahead of time how much paint you're going to need to put on the canvas size that you're using, so that obviously you have enough paint to cover the whole thing. So when I looked it up on my paint calculator, which I'll post a link to in the description box, we'll just leave it as is for right now. And I'm going to probably just simply spin it right now. I may need to tilt it a little bit to get it further to the, edges there before I spin it. It's pretty colors though, really pretty. Let's see if I can get it kind of centered up on my spinner here, and extremely gently spin it. It does not need to be much at all. And you can start to see what I'm talking about with a round canvas being much more ideal for this, because you see I'm getting really good coverage, but the corners, you know, I'm getting it spread out to the corners is a little more difficult. And we'll just gently keep moving it. It's got enough paint on there to move around. I like this. I'm just not sure it's going to go to the edges. Boy, it's still got quite a ways to go. I should have used a tad more volume of color on here, but it's still moving. Oh gee, I really don't know what I want to do with it. It's pretty. I don't know. I may not have had enough color on the canvas initially. One thing I could do is leave it like it is right now, and when it dries, come back in here and paint, like outline the whole thing in black so that the center thing pops out from it. And that would be a possibility. I really hate to spin it much more, because I don't think by the time I spin it enough to get it out to the corners, I think it's going to be a little warpy. So let me think of something else here. I'm wondering if I go back to, I'm trying to salvage it right now, although it's really pretty like it is. If I go back to my idea of layering a little cup and just pouring a little bit of cloud mixture here in the corner, I think I'm going to try that. I may completely ruin it, okay? So There's no guarantee. But I think I'm going to try it. I'm like, why not? Now that there's some more paint on here, I'm going to give it a gentle spin just to kind of spread out what I just did there. And dadgum if I don't really like that now. Yep, I actually am liking that a lot. So, okay, well, sometimes it pays to get crazy. And I would prefer to have not to have done that, but it does make an interesting design. So I think I'm pretty pleased with that. And the center, actually, I like it better without a lot of clouds in there. It gives it a really spacey look, like you're looking into a portal in space. Looks very cosmetic, or cosmic, excuse me. Might be cosmetic too. Okay, let's go down for a close-up and see what we got. Okay, here's my very experimental cloud pour using G's cloud funnel technique. And I gussied up the corners because I didn't think my paints were going to spread out that far. I'm going to do another one. I've got a lot of paint left. And put more paint in the funnel so this won't happen. But I really like this. I think it's really interesting and really pretty. There we go. Well, I'll try another one. Thank you for joining me. See you later.